Everyone's favorite hockey franchise is back with NHL 11, a game that touts a real-time physics engine, the new EA Sports Ultimate Hockey League, and what EA calls the most requested feature from last year, the ability to break sticks out on the ice. Those overarching changes come together with several gameplay tweaks and revisions to make NHL 11 one of the best hockey games in recent memory, even if it does lack that one revolutionary mode or feature that people have come to expect from yearly EA Sports games. This year's game moves and looks better than it has over the last few seasons, thanks to some nice work on the game's frame rate that helps make the cutscenes that used to chug at some points run nice and smooth. Details on player models and members of the crowd are kept at a relatively high level throughout, which is impressive when you consider the intricacies of the new physics engine that drives the action forward. Checks in pretty much every other physical interaction looks wonderfully authentic, less the rare occasion when players don't respond to hits as quickly as they should. The atmosphere of playing in the National Hockey League is delivered wonderfully through cool cutscenes that showcase members of the crowd during key moments. I particularly like the playoff celebrations that you see if you come out on the winning end of a series. It's also cool to see how the excitement dies down considerably when you move to one of the other 10 leagues that are included in the game's robust roster of teams. Players from that huge list of teams feed into NHL 11's new Hockey Ultimate Team mode, where you're charged with piecing together a team of all-stars through a card trading system that is sure to be familiar to vets of the last 2 years of Madden or FIFA. It's a very dense mode with depth to spare, but I think some of the more mainstream hockey fans of the world will be turned off by the mode's complexities. If you can figure out how to navigate the menus and put together a functional team using the game's chemistry mechanic and training cards, I think you could find a ton to enjoy, especially when you take the game online to play against the thousands of other Ultimate Teams out there. In the way of gameplay additions, players aren't going to find any huge game changers in the NHL 11 package. What they will find are a slew of tweaks and small additions that help to change the way the game feels for the better. Everything is much slower this year, which while it does remove just a bit of the overall realism, it also gives you that needed extra half second to pull off certain dekes and planned passes. The passing system has also seen some tweaking and now requires you to hold the pass button for a second longer than you've needed to in the past in order to make quick, accurate passes. It definitely takes some getting used to, but the system makes sense after a while and adds a nice layer of strategy on top of the standard NHL formula. The only real downside of the gameplay is that there isn't that one new mode for the game to hang its hat on. Ultimate Team is great, but it's been in other games over the last 2 years. Everything else like Be a GM, Be a Pro, and Playoff modes still deliver their content at a very high quality, but they haven't been touched up much since last year, which is a shame. There's still frame rate issues in Be a Pro mode, and Be a GM still features that slightly strange cell phone system just as they did in NHL 10. Thankfully, the online multiplayer modes are as solid as ever with things like online team play and leagues aptly represented. NHL 11 is a great game of hockey despite the general lack of a revolutionary new mode. The gameplay is the most complete package I've ever seen from a hockey game, and almost every change they've made works out very well. At the end of the day, NHL 11 is still the most realistic looking and playing hockey game to date, even if it doesn't have that one awesome mode to draw in the masses. For more on NHL 11, be sure to check out IGN.com.